why am I sitting in front of this guy and then have to explain myself to him or prove myself to him?
Yeah.
It sparked something in me, like, you got to look for something else. My brother was in a construction company, and he gave me the idea, said, you know what? I can give you some work on the side.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the knowledge and the tools. Just pick it up again.
You didn't realize, like, most businesses fail after 3 years. Like, 98% of business by 5 years don't exist. Like, you're in this small minority of business owners. I want you to acknowledge that, because you may not see these things. But
I provide a good service, and like what I tell my kids more than anything, I don't sell a handyman service.
Mm-hmm.
I sell confidence. And now they both have BMWs, and they dissect them and work on them and have fun with them. And
when are you getting them their first Tesla?
Come on, man. Why do you want to go there?
CEO in motion. CEO in motion. CEO in motion. CEO in motion.
And we got the first guest with the Hive 2.0, baby.
Boom.
The hops. The
favorite
boom.
one.
Classic boom, bro. Every time I hear that now, I just attribute that to you.
Oh, the boom?
Boom. Yeah,
Boom.
and I know exactly the first time I heard it from you, and I was like, oh, that was so good.
Boom.
Bro, it's perfect.
It's delicious.
Great temperature.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, George. So we're going to talk about business.
Nice.
We're going to talk about life.
Let's do
We're
it.
going to talk about your hometown here in Vegas and also
I love
how
it.
we met, which I think is a pretty cool story.
Want to go that far back, huh?
We're going all in. So
All the way back.
podcast is mostly about business, entrepreneurship,
I love it.
but you have the mindset. Not only are you a business owner, an entrepreneur, a busy one,
Yeah.
but you have the mindset. You're honestly probably the fittest 40-year-old guy that I know.
Yeah?
So,
Yeah.
Natural, all natty, baby.
Yeah, 44.
44.
Yeah.
44
But I mean,
strong.
I've also been doing it my whole life, you know. It's not like I just started working out. I've always been into fitness.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I never thought of it as just, oh, fitness, I gotta be fit. It's just, to me, it's just something I gravitated to.
It's not like a fad for you.
Yeah, it's not a fad for me. It's just
Like keto diet and shit.
there's just no other way to be, period. You know, like and it's just naturally for me that way, you know. Like I said, I gravitated to that at a very young age. I guess because I grew up in the 80s, and I had a lot of like all the movies that we watched, you know, from Conan to Rambo to Rocky. Like, it's just,
Yes, Gabby, come on, give us
just-
some B-roll right now
Yeah.
of all these. Conan the Barbarian, show
all
some
that,
thighs.
all that. You know, it's like I grew up in the golden era of bodybuilding, really, and in my mind as a little kid, I just automatically believed or thought that, hey, you grow up and one day you're just gonna look like that.
But
And
it is possible. At least it gives us like an idea of like just muscles and strong and the men taking care of things.
for sure.
I loved it. But speaking of growing up, I mean, I grew up in Mexico.
Yeah,
And we met
that's where we met.
in Guadalajara like 35 years ago, bro.
Yeah, like 1991 or something, or
30 some years ago,
92?
more than 30 years ago.
Yeah,
When we were kids, there was no Instagram, there was no
nothing.
Facebook.
Street soccer is all there was.
Yeah, we're just kicking. We didn't tell us we didn't have a soccer ball. We'd play with cans.
Yeah.
Remember, we just to kick some cans down the street, and
Anything.
we were just growing up, you know, in Mexico. Parents were hardworking, and
Yeah, they were.
still
Still are.
And then we separated for, I don't know, 20 years, bro.
Yeah, we did separate for quite a while. You know, it was, I want to say at least 15, 20 years, something like that.
It was for sure like 2 decades. Cause
Yeah.
I must have been 9, 30, whatever it was. But I remember getting the Facebook message from my brother. I was like, hey, do you remember, you know,
Yeah.
George and your brother? And I was like, of course I do. They're like, dude, like, just send me a Facebook message request. And then we started connecting. And
Yeah.
randomly, like, you know, my life took me to the US. You know, I
Yep,
was
me
very
too.
fortunate. And so did you, completely
Yeah.
separately. But you were here in Vegas. I was in LA. And I remember I came in and visited 20 years later with my brother, and we had like a good reunion. And
that was a really good reunion. Actually, we're coming up on the place right there at the Mandalay Bay.
It was on the Mandalay Bay right here.
I remember your brother got lost one time, and I was like,
we just found it.
Yeah,
like,
like,
I mean, that
whoa,
was a shit show about reunion. There's pictures and evidence and things, and that was quite a different me then. Also.
For sure. Yeah, I know, me too.
I was a tornado.
Both of us.
Yeah. We were still like figuring things out, and we hadn't left that phase of our lives. But anyway, so like, and from there on, eventually I moved to Vegas. You became my closest friend here in Vegas. You're part of my family. All my family knows you.
Yep.
We went to our wedding. Like, it just, we
Great
become
wedding.
sort of inseparable.
Yeah. we have a lot in common too. So it's not just like because we live in Vegas. Like, we have similar mindsets, similar goals in terms of where we want to be with our family and stuff like that. So yeah, naturally we stick together.
Yeah, and when you don't see somebody for 20 years, you don't know what they're up to. I didn't know anything. So I was like, no, this guy's about my same age, but you're a family man. So I wanna structure this thing in about like 3 segments of you that to me I admire.
Yeah.
One of them is your work ethic, your dedication, to your business here in Las Vegas. 2 is like your dedication to like your family and as a parent of 3 boys.
I
really
love my
now
boys.
Young men.
I love my boys and my wife.
Yeah, it's amazing. And 3rd, it would be like a combination of like, fitness with like guns and really what makes George.
I very much into firearms. I always have been, I guess also because I grew up in the 80s and all the action heroes and all that. I gravitated to that, and I'm very proficient with firearms. I'm very knowledgeable, all self-taught. And then along came YouTube, and I followed some of the guys that are actual war veterans and ex-retired SWAT team guys and stuff like that. And listening to them, everything they talk about just naturally just comes to me,
Bro, you picked it up.
Yeah, I picked it up like nothing.
And
for sure.
You have so many things that I admire, so many qualities, because I see one of the important things that I think of myself is that I'm able to realize where my deficiencies are, where my lack is, and I try to like find people who have those things that I don't have, so that I can learn. And the same with like JC, that he was my very first hire because he had skills that I didn't have.
For sure, JC's awesome.
JC's awesome. And with you, there's things like I was saying, from fitness, from the stuff that you can do with your hands, and that's one of my least workable. I'm more computer mindset, business or kind of things like that.
Yeah, and that's one reason I talk to you guys and you and JC quite a bit, because I'm not as tech savvy. I like doing things with my hands. I like building things. I like fixing things. I love getting my hands dirty.
Yeah.
And but I also see the value and the benefit of being tech savvy. Especially where the world is headed these days.
Yeah, but like you say, skills pays the bills, and
skills pay the bills. I do say.
And you'll never go hungry with if you know how to do things around the house and with work and everything. So tell me about how you started your business, like Finished Works. When did you start that?
I was bartending from like 2010. From like 2010, really good stories. From like 2010 to 2015, at a very nice restaurant called Simon Restaurant. The owner of that restaurant unfortunately became very ill and passed away, and I went to the Hard Rock Hotel for a little while. I was there for just one season, the pool season called Rehab. Big party pool.
Good time.
Mayhem. A lot of good memories, no regrets.
Yep.
But after that, I landed a couple interviews, and I just didn't like the interview process. These young managers that I felt were just not better at me at anything, and it just dawned on me like why am I sitting in front of this guy and then have to explain myself to him or prove myself to him?
Yeah.
And I just didn't like that. Subconsciously, it sparked something in me, like, you got to look for something else. And the construction industry was booming all over again, And my brother was in a construction company, and he gave me the idea, said, you know what, I can give you some work on the side. You have all the knowledge and the tools, just pick it up again.
Start an LLC, make a business.
Yeah, start an LLC, make a business. I thought of the name, and and I started an LLC.
How did you come up with the name? Like, I don't know if I know that story.
You know what? I was just thinking about stuff, and I was just talking to myself, and the name Finish Works just came out, and I have a little slogan after I called it Handy Home Solutions. And on my business card it says Finish Works Handy Home Solutions. And
it stuck.
And it stuck. Yeah.
Once it feels right, it feels right.
Yeah.
When I started the advertising too, I was like thinking of names, and then all of a sudden like it just sticks. I'm like, InMotion Media Group. I think that I'm gonna stick with that. But I remember like I was going through like different options and different names, and once you feel that it's working, and and there's nothing, it just feels right. How long have you been doing the business? Like
going on 11 years now.
Oh, so you didn't realize like most businesses fail after 3 years. Like 98% of business by 5 years don't exist. Like you're in this small minority of business owners. Why don't you acknowledge that? Because you may not see these things.
I provide a good service, and like what I tell my kids more than anything, I don't sell a handyman service. I sell confidence. When people meet me, they feel confident, and they feel comfortable, and they're like, you know what, this guy's gonna take care of me.
That's how I feel, George.
and I tell my kids that, to always be honest, have a lot of integrity, and to make people feel comfortable and confident in your skills and abilities.
That you're gonna get the job done. That you're gonna be honest. You're also bilingual. Do you have Spanish-speaking clients?
I have very few Spanish-speaking clients.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but definitely fully bilingual.
You would think, because we're bilingual. We're Mexican. We speak it, but. But yeah, that's a good start. So the kids, so that was the first thing when we got back together. I was like, you have 3 kids, and
well, I had 2, and Emily was pregnant with Diego.
Yeah, I remember, and I've seen like Diego growing into.
Yeah, you've seen the whole thing.
Into an 11-year-old boy,
Because I remember when you came around, you touched Emily's stomach, and she was like, "Who is this guy? Like, I don't know, this guy's touching my stomach." And then. A few months later, you came back to Vegas again, and Diego was born, and he was in his little car seat. You're like, oh my God, little Diego. And then you would come back I think every 6 months or so.
Yeah, because I didn't live here. So
you didn't live here.
The first 6 years of Diego, I would just come.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a Vegas regular. I wanted to come in and drink and party and have fun. Yeah, so that was.
Those were the days.
Yeah, that was a different time. But I've seen him. I've seen him grow and just great stuff with parenthood. For me, man, that's the hardest thing. Like you make it seem, because you tied the rope, no,
I had a good tight leash on the boys. I don't think it was that hard to keep a tight leash on them. I was very young, my firstborn Alex was not planned. But
how old were you?
I turned 22 the year he was born. He was born in April, and I turned 22 in August of that same year. And it wasn't easy. It was a shocker at first, for sure. Like the first year was a shocker. I didn't know what to do or what I was gonna do.
At 22, nobody knows what they're doing, and exactly. You had kids.
Exactly. But after that, it was just like I said, I was still really young, and I was a kid. So I just picked up this other kid and just did kid stuff.
How old is Alex now? Isn't he 22?
Alex turns 22 this year.
He's the same age as you were when you had him.
Yeah, pretty much. He turns 22 this year.
So if he has a kid, you'll be a grandpa.
Yeah.
And he'll be the same age as you.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
George.
Yeah, my boys are studs, man. My boys are studs.
Super awesome.
I'm very happy with them. I'm very fortunate. And like I said, I think I was so young that I just picked up these kids and did kid stuff with them, I just played with them. I shared all the things that I like to do, with everything from boxing to firearms, baseball. I played a lot of baseball with them. And cars, absolutely cars. You know, I remember buying my first BMW and kind of dissecting the car, and they were right there with me.
That's why they're good at BMW.
And now they both have BMWs, and they dissect them and work on them and have fun with them. And
when are you getting them their first Tesla?
Come on, man. Why do you want to go there? Don't go there.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm just messing around. I had a BMW, you know.
You did.
Like, Sam had
you gave Daniel his BMW.
No, he bought it.
Oh, that's right. He bought it from you.
He bought the BMW.
Actually, he bought it from Diego. You sold it to Diego, and then he bought it from Diego.
Diego is your 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Who bought it from me?
Yeah.
For how much?
I think it was like $5.
That's high. It was $1.
Oh, okay. It was $1.
But then what did Diego do?
He sold it to Daniel for $5 or something
for
like that.
$20 for his brothers.
Man, you remember all that. That's a good memory.
Because I was like, Diego, this is how you do business. You buy low and you sell high.
There you go.
Now Diego couldn't drive. Obviously, he was 10 years old or 9 years old. But Daniel could, and he got a $20 BMW. I think that's great. I think that's great for both of them. And he still has it, no?
He still has the car, and it runs magnificently. He's done some tune-ups on it, and Daniel loves his car, really.
That's awesome. What do you attribute, your style of like parenthood, you know?
Honestly, to my dad and my mom. My dad was always very friendly with us, and
such a nice guy.
Yeah, you know, he didn't really give me a lot of advice. He mainly just showed us what it was to be a real friend. You know, in Utah, we spent some years up there, and I remember summer times having barbecues, and my friends would come over, and my dad would be right there hanging out with us, cooking and everything. And my friends would afterwards be like, man, like, you hang out with your dad like that? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you guys are just so friendly together. And I'm like, you guys are not that way with your parents or what? You know, like.
Yeah, you were very blessed to have great parents.
And honestly, I wanted to be that way with my sons, because I think the relationship between friends is very honest. You know, when you have good friends, you're not afraid of being judged, you know?
Yeah.
You tell your friends the truth, they tell you the truth. There's no taboos, there's no hiding. And I kind of wanted that with me and my boys.
But you guys, like, I mean, locker room talk between guys, like, you kind of have that conversation.
For sure.
I mean, we do. Our chats, you know, our chats, and then when people talk, and it's just like, you know, we keep egging sort on each other, but at some point you're like, hey, how about we start with something positive today? And I remember you made that switch in one of our group chats where we were like, hey, it's too early to start talking shit. How about we start, you know, elevating ourselves? And those are the things that, like, I was like,
that's true. I remember saying that.
Those are things that, like, that's it. Like, there's no reason why we start talking shit at 6 a.m. Why can't we just start elevating
It's funny,
each other?
don't get me wrong.
It's super funny,
but,
especially the gifts and all the nasty things that we say and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
But elevating, promoting, holding each other accountable, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first client, going back to your business, like,
I
growing that business?
I absolutely remember my first client.
Who was that?
It was this older couple from California. They live on Tuscany Village off of Lake Las Vegas area. And it was ceiling fans. Mm-hmm. And out of all the things I've done in construction, all across the board, ceiling fans is one that I had never done.
That was your first client?
Yeah, that was my first client. They wanted like 4 ceiling fans. I had the tools, and I said, yeah, I can do it. I'll do it. $50 a piece. And
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're like, great. So I quickly looked up a YouTube video, and I bought a couple tools that I didn't have, an electrical tester to make sure you don't get zapped, you know. And I went out there and I did it. I assembled the fans, I hung them, electrical, everything, tested them. They worked great, and after
200
that,
bucks and that's
yeah,
it.
$200 and that was it.
Wait, I think that was the first thing you did at our house too.
Was it ceiling fans?
Because I didn't know what you were doing, anything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I can help it. It was we were just moving in, and I think that was the very first thing. And then now I just, like you said at the beginning, I rely for anything.
Yeah.
Recommendations, friends, anything like that. And now
Yeah.
we have like other people that live in the same sort of like neighborhood. This rain. The one day, this is the first time I've done a podcast in the rain. At least
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We haven't got rain.
Yeah, like almost over 200 days.
Yeah, and today was the freaking first day that it's raining. I was like, I hope it stops so that the mics don't pick up the sound, but we should be fine. So that was the first one. The thing. Did you have to wait until you get a second person or third? Because now I call you. You're always like, I got this,
at that
and this,
point.
and this.
At that point, I was relying on word of mouth and referrals.
Yeah.
And so yes, I there were a little, I guess I could say, few and far between. For the first couple of years, it was a little tough.
Did you quit the bartending thing completely?
Yeah, I quit
Also,
the
you
bartending
went like,
completely.
fuck it, I'm going all in on this.
No, all out.
Burn the boat strategy.
Just no turning back, for sure. And after the first 2 years,
That takes a lot of courage.
yeah, no, for
3
sure,
kids,
for sure.
and you're betting on
And my
yourself.
wife was working at the time, so it definitely helped out.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
yeah, no, after the first 2 years were kind of tough, but after that, it was one after the next and referrals, and now it's the point that it's nonstop.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
say later, not.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks.
I
I'll get to
absolutely
you.
am very fortunate that I can absolutely pick and choose if I want to work for someone or not.
And you
know?
love what you do.
I do.
I've seen some of the stuff, man, and the houses, remodels,
Yeah.
and now you got guys for everything too, that
Yep.
helping your team.
Tile guys, countertop guys, all of it.
But you work with your I've seen Daniel with you multiple times.
Yes.
Your son, just
My son.
helping you.
Yep, he was with me all day yesterday. A few times a week. He also has a part-time job working with cars. And
Yeah, but you're
AutoZone,
instructing him. You're showing him.
absolutely.
It's bonding you guys as a
And
father and son.
He
and-
just got the job at AutoZone, because he moved out of the house and he wanted to do his own thing for a little while. But before that, yeah, he was coming with me for a whole year every day.
I don't think you realize how rare that is, bro.
Yeah, really?
I've never in my life I've gone with my dad anywhere
Oh, okay.
to work. Obviously,
Yeah.
and he passed anything, but I just don't remember like, oh, I'm gonna go with my dad to work. What?
Yeah.
And you get to have him, and you get to show him, and I think when he grows up, he'll realize those things. And if he has kids, he'll realize like, dude, my dad was, yeah, so he forced me to carry stuff and do this
Yeah.
and things that I wanted, but it gave me these skills. It taught me these things.
Oh,
and I
I
think,
tell him that for sure.
I think, when you're a teenager, you may not see it, but when you get older, then you see like, oh shit, this is cool. Our parents sacrificed or did whatever they did for
I
us.
think they're absolutely at the point, Alex and Daniel for sure are at the point where, yeah, no, they see that.
The two oldest.
They see that. They're like, man, I'm glad my parents did everything they did.
Yeah.
Whether it was shave my head when I misbehaved, take away my PlayStation.
Okay, you shave whose head?
Both Alex and Daniel. They were being little shitheads, man.
Yeah, but they have like this really awesome curly long hair, and you shave.
And I shaved it because it's like, dude, these guys, they must have been like 14. It's like, dude, no, bro. Like, they keep messing up. I'm gonna hit them where it hurts.
Dude, that's the best type of
and I
discipline.
shaved their heads, bro.
Because it's not physical. You're not punishing them. You're not, starving them. You're hitting them in something that it's gonna make them change. And
Alex
it's gonna
was just like,
wait.
whatever, but Daniel definitely was way more bugged by it. And I actually did it to Daniel twice because, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years later, he's just, I was like, no, bro.
You set him down?
Yeah, I sat him down and shaved his head. Actually, I think it was the last time I shaved Daniel's head, it must have been either a sophomore or a junior in high school. And now, so I did it once in junior high and then once in high school because Daniel was making bad choices. Good kid, but just like following the bad crowd. Okay. And I was like, no, bro, that's not who you are. Okay, I'm raising you to be a leader. not a follower, especially a follower of guys that are gonna get you in deep trouble, you know, and I don't like that. So in high school, you know, they got the whole image and the ego and everything of looking good. So that's when I shaved his head again, and it really was an eye-opener for him. Because he had the whole hair thing, and he would always get complimented on his hair. I said, no more hair.
Yeah, tall, curly hair. People running red lights here in the fucking rain, dude.
Crazy.
In Vegas. Did you ever been to the Fontainebleau?
Actually, no, never been to the Fontainebleau.
It's been here for a year almost, man.
Yeah, no, I've never been into the Fontainebleau. You?
I think a couple of times I stayed here for like my birthday. So a year ago in March, I stayed there. So it must have just opened up in March. But no, not.
We'll have to go in one day.
I don't know. Like it's not my. I think it just seemed like empty, bro. For such a big thing, it took so many years to build it up and everything. I mean, Vegas has changed a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, I rarely come to the Strip. You know, I mean, rarely. So definitely the Fontainebleau is not one that I was entirely aware of, other than, you know, I've heard the name a lot.
Bro, because it got stopped, and then they ran out of money, and then someone picked up 5 years later. Like it's been building, like, I don't know, for 13, 15 years, whatever. Someone can come in and tell me the exact years, whatever it is, but I know it was bought out like twice by a different person, and finally it just opened up. But it's not, they put all the money, it's just not as busy. Like I never know people, oh, meet me at Fontainebleau. I just never heard anything like that. But it's rare. It's funny that you say that like I never come to the Strip, where most people think of Vegas as the Strip.
Yeah, completely.
But people who live here don't come here as much.
Yeah, very rarely.
But if you look around where we are, bro, it's outstanding. Like we live in one of the greatest places on earth.
There's a lot of money flowing around here too.
It's incredible. The money, the flowing, like the screens, the buildings.
The amount of people worldwide that want to come here.
Yes, 2 million people come every month.
You know? For X reason, worldwide, and people have it on their list of things to do. Go see Amazing Vegas.
Yeah. And we're right here, bro. That's why that's why every time I drive up and down the Strip, I just can't stop to continue being amazed.
I can't believe the Circus is still here.
Yeah, I mean that's because the crack is keeping it open. The crackies, bro.
Wow.
The crackies are still
There is
opening.
a really, really good steakhouse in there. I have not gone,
bro.
But if you look it up, they have
good reviews.
A really fine steakhouse in there, and that's it.
I know they have like different things, and they used to have like the arcade and all that shit.
They still have it for like, what is it called, the Fun Dome or something like that?
The Fun Dome, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the Fun Dome. What's happening with my freaking wipers? But yeah, and I, you know, for me, like business was one part of it, but the other one was like you were talking about into the fitness. So the way you have been training me, because you have been like once a week I go in there and we train and we work out, is that you talk about like the discipline. You're like, hey man, this is not like my new regimen, or I'm changing this out now. It's like it's a lifestyle for you. So talk about what fitness means to you. What does fitness mean?
What does fitness mean to me? It's just who I am, man. It's just who I am. I love being physically strong. I like looking good. And it just it drives me.
Why
honestly.
Are you wearing sleeves, bro? Why are you wearing sleeves?
Because it's cold outside.
Come on, man. We're wearing sleeves.
Yeah, no,
like...
but I was on that like no sleeve thing for a while. But it's raining. If it wasn't raining, the vest is enough, and I would be wearing no sleeves.
Yeah. The boom.
But yeah. It's what drives me to do everything that I do. Honestly, fitness comes first. Eating healthy, staying in shape. You know, I've done a lot of different things in the world of fitness. You know, from boxing to MMA. You know, I grew up playing soccer competitively.
But that wasn't from your dad, the boxing and fitness. So where did that come from?
Well, my dad did put me in a boxing gym in East LA.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, but even
with the homies.
Yeah. But even before that, we grew up watching boxing.
Rocky, or you talking about like real boxing?
Real boxing, and Rocky on top of that. Yeah, Rocky's great.
What are some of the boxers or fights that you remember?
The very first fight that I remember that I said, I like boxing was when Julio Cesar Chavez, Mexican hero forever,
Boom.
one of the biggest Mexican heroes forever, beat the shit out of Hector Macho Camacho.
They fought?
They fought, and you know, Camacho style was, you know, talking a lot of shit about his opponents, and Chavez was just not the guy. He's like, look, he can say whatever he wants, but my shit's gonna be in the ring. I talk in the ring.
And Chavez was already a champion, or
Chavez was already a champion, and Chavez beat the shit out of him in such a bad way, you know, like rearranged his face, you know, broke his ribs. But Camacho took the beating for 12 rounds, bro. He didn't go down once.
Oh, he didn't go down, so
No,
he won
he
by default or by
Well, he won by
decision?
decision, unanimous decision. All 12 rounds were
And
scored.
it was like obvious that he won?
Oh, he unanimously beat the shit out of him. He beat him so bad that some of the rounds were scored 10-8. And the only way you get a 10-8 is if you get dropped. But if you get your ass beat so hard that the judges score it as if you went down, like it's not as common.
10-8 meaning like, it's almost like if actually went down, but he
Correct.
didn't go down?
Exactly.
That's how much of a beating he took?
Yeah. But, you know, props to the guy for staying on his feet.
He went the distance like
He
Rocky.
went-
he
he
was
went the
Rocky,
distance.
like Rocky and Apollo.
Yeah, and he looked like Rocky too, just bad, bruised. And that was the first fight that I remember like wow, I love this sport.
Gabby, give me some B-roll, please, of this fight. Let's get some rearrangement of the face.
Yeah, Hector Macho
Camacho.
Camacho versus Julio Cesar Chavez.
Go.
That left hand in the body. And it's got to be said that Camacho took his beating like a man. He didn't back up. He tried to come on, and he's just been outfought.
You cannot question the courage of Camacho.
I don't think there's a fighter that's ever fought him that hasn't looked in the mirror for the rest of their life and remembered him very well.
Yeah, very well.
Camacho will be feeling the effects of this fight for a long time.
Well, we're winding down. There will not be a knockout, it looks like.
Judge at ringside, Dolby Shirley scores the bout 117-111. Carol Castellano scores the bout 119-110. Harry Gibbs scores the bout 120-107. All three in favor of the winner and still champion Julio Cesar Chavez.
All right, we're back. Yeah, he got destroyed. That's crazy, man.
Yep.
So then that was one. So you saw that. How old were you?
Wow, how old was I? I must have been like 10 years old.
Bro, that's
Yeah.
young to be watching that.
I must have been like 10 years old. And then back to the whole thing about my dad being friendly with us. I remember going to fights as a kid, and his other friends would be like, hey, you know, why are you bringing your kids, dude? This is all adults here. And my dad would tell the guys that, hey, dude, if my kids bother you, like, I won't be here. But my dad was so popular amongst his friends that they're like, no, I'm just giving you a hard time, bro. Your kids are more than welcome. You're more than welcome. I was just messing, bro.
That's cool that
Yeah.
he said that. Like
And my
that.
dad
That
al-
even made me feel good right now.
My dad always took us to the fights, you know,
like to the friends' houses where
to
you
the
can
friends'
watch it.
houses to watch them, all as a group, and yeah,
Have you ever been to a live boxing match?
lots of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
lots of them.
here, Mexico, where?
Here in Vegas.
Really?
Here in Vegas.
What's your favorite fight you've seen?
Huh? Favorite fight live?
Maybe on TV or live, yeah.
Wow, favorite fight live. That's a good question.
How about the last one with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson?
Come on, bro. Jeez.
That's not the
That
one?
was not real, bro. I would love to go to a Canelo fight. I haven't been to a Canelo fight. It's been so many, bro. I've
There's one knockout that you remember. Tell me one knockout that you remember.
one knockout that I
Or
remember.
some-
I remember Brandon Bam Bam Rios. He was fighting at 140 pounds. Great fighter, tough, rugged, Mexican-American individual. He would just batter his opponents so bad. And then he fought Manny Pacquiao, and that was like kind of his demise. Manny Pacquiao was beating the shit out of everybody.
Manny was the best.
Manny
at some
was
point,
vicious,
dude.
bro. Vicious.
Just tiny, small, and
An
fast.
extremely hungry individual.
Did he ever lose?
Manny Pacquiao lost. I think he's got like 5-6 losses in his record, and he had a trilogy with Juan Manuel Marquez, another Mexican boxing hero. They fought 3 times. Manny Pacquiao beat him twice, or actually, yeah, correct, twice. One of them was a draw, and then they fought a 4th time, where Marquez scored one of the most vicious and horrifying knockouts the sport has ever seen. To Manny Pacquiao, yeah.
He knocked him out?
He knocked him out with 1 second left in the 6th round.
No way.
And Manny Pacquiao went to sleep for a very long time. And I'm telling you, I mean, like, you can laugh all you want. I don't laugh at that one. It was horrifying.
Like, he really knocked him.
It was one of the most vicious knockouts in the history of the sport to date.
Damn, I gotta see that guy. Give me some of this B-roll. Was it a hook? What was it?
It was like a combination of a slip with a straight right. And I mean, these guys were jacked at 147 pounds. They were solid, and Marquez knew that he couldn't beat Pacquiao with speed, so he beat him with some power, some strength. And they both hit each other a lot of times in those 6 rounds. They both went down 1 apiece in those 6 rounds before Marquez knocked him out.
So that was a vicious fight.
It was nasty.
What about fights between Cesar Chavez and De La Hoya? Did you ever watch?
Yeah, they fought twice. Chavez was at the end of his career. He had just signed with the promoter Top Rank, owned by promoter Bob Arum, which is where De La Hoya was at the time. And De La Hoya was a young fighter, a great young fighter, you know.
Who won that one?
De La Hoya beat him twice.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
That's how he became the Golden Boy.
Well, they named him the Golden Boy because he won the gold medals in the Olympics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's De La Hoya, the Golden Boy.
Oh,
I grew up in East LA, close to where he used to live.
And now he lives in Henderson.
And now he lives here in Henderson, yeah.
Yeah, where you close to live
now. Yeah, now close to where I live, exactly.
Yeah, now he's big on Instagram.
Yeah, he's huge, and
I mean, no, but now he's obviously retired from the sport, but
correct.
He dances. He shows in speedos. Have you seen him lately?
Yes, I have. Yeah, no, he's ripped. You know, he's still in very good shape.
Still in great shape.
Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy, and his promotion company is called Golden Boy Promotions.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, boxing, man, that's a sport. You also like MMA.
I love MMA.
And so you grew up with like watching fights, with doing these sports that fueled you into fitness, that fueled you into really, I think all these things like molded your discipline, bro.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can't be a fighter without being disciplined.
Yeah.
You can't be an athlete without being disciplined.
I had 4 professional MMA fights also.
Did you fight too?
Yeah.
Did you win?
4 pro. I had a couple amateur boxing fights here in Vegas. And yeah, it was great. It was great.
Did you enjoy it? Did you stop because you didn't want to continue?
I just, you know, there was no money in it for me at that time, and it just, you know, risk for reward was really not there, and that was it.
That's smart.
But I stayed training. I still trained, and
but you actually had fights, and that's fucking
yeah,
cool.
It was great. It was great. 2-2.
Do you know the people or no?
The guys that I
yeah, like there's people that you know, or were they here, or was it
no, 2 of them were in Utah. One of them was 3 of them were in Utah, and one of them was here in Vegas. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Because you lived in Utah. Do you miss it?
I love Utah, but I wouldn't say I miss it.
This is home now.
Yeah,
right?
This is home now. Eventually, I might move back. You know, given different circumstances or whatever. But yeah, no, I love Utah. Utah's a big part of me, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you on your mornings? Do you have a routine in the morning? Is there something that you do?
Yeah,
on a daily basis?
I try to go to bed as early as possible, and I try to wake up as early as possible, and I spend some alone time. I have at least 2 cups of coffee. Stand up, stretch out.
How many creamers and sugars?
0 cream, 0 sugar. Look, and that has nothing to do with fitness or whatever. That has everything to do with I love the flavor of coffee alone.
Just like straight up coffee?
Yeah, bold. Bold coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you do like your coffee shop. Do you eat like eggs and breakfast in the morning, or you just like go straight to some dips in the
You
cold?
know what? It's coffee holds me over. Breakfast in the morning is like 50-50. You know, it just depends on how much I ate the night before or what I ate the night before, how hungry I wake up in the morning. But it's about 50-50.
Depends on your
Yeah.
on your routine from the night before. Do you work out every day?
Just about. I'll do even if it's just a 10-minute workout, just about every day, but at least 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I get in a vicious workout. And I mean like I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my happy place. That's my vacation. That's my everything, man. I'm in my zone. I can see myself working out.
Mm-hmm.
I love to feel, the muscle just tearing through the flesh, man. I love it. It's my everything.
What do you tell me when I'm almost done and I'm just like, and
I say, get serious. Do some more. Give me 2 more. Get serious.
Let's get serious.
Yeah.
I'm like on the last couple reps and you're like, all right, come on, man, let's get serious.
And especially like if you have a spotter, you shouldn't have any fear. A good spotter, you shouldn't have any fear of not being able to press the weight.
Yeah.
Because when you start thinking I can't press the weight, that is when you're at that moment where you're gonna feel the muscle blow up, and the spotter will help you out with the
So
rest.
you just have to continue pushing through because your mind wants to give up.
Correct. The muscle can do a lot more than the mind.
Yeah, and so your mind tells you like stop it.
Yeah, you just have to have that connection there.
Look at all these billboards, bro.
Yep, mobile billboards.
Who the hell is this person? Ricky Bell.
Ricky Bell? Is that like from Boys to Men or what? I think they are.
Bobby
That's
Brown.
Bobby Brown. Old
Ronnie
school
DeVoe.
Performers.
Am I even on the right lane?
I think so. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, there's like new performers. That's another thing that I do like.
It's
about
funny. We
Vegas.
just saw a billboard of Bobby Brown. One of my customers bought the house that Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston used to live in.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Where is it at?
It's on Sahara and Durango. What is it called? It's a country club golf course.
So when you go, you're technically going to
The Gates?
to Bobby Brown's old house.
Yeah.
Because he's your customer,
Yeah.
he or she.
Yeah, they live there, and I've been doing work for them for years. And he told me one day, "Oh, do you know Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown used to live here?" I'm like, "No way!" Like one of my wife's favorite artists is Whitney Houston. She grew up listening to Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
And everybody knows Whitney Houston.
I mean, huge. Both of them are big.
Huge for sure.
But Whitney,
And,
she's in a different.
And I'm just like,
category,
wow, like I love Whitney Houston. This was her house. Like I'm working around the house where she used to roam around in.
This person has been your client for years, you said?
Yes.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
When you think about that, like, it also talks about like the kind of work that you do for people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can hire somebody, do something, and be like, oh, fuck that. Dude, I am burning in here. Are you?
I'm alright.
What is going on this thing? It's because you're wearing your vest.
Can't handle the heat.
I did a little bit of workout, George.
All right.
Workout of the future before coming here.
Why, you want to do another one?
Let's get serious.
You want to get serious?
Did you see me eat in the car right when you parked?
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, I was like
Oh,
fainting.
no.
I was like, oh my god, I was like eating like
Yeah, no, don't do that.
turkey meat and freaking, pistachios, and I was like, I
Oh,
can't-
nice.
Yeah, I was just getting something in it because I was, oh man, I just did like this vicious pump, like you say.
Vicious. Vicious.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I typically stick to like one muscle group and just beat it up completely. Like just destruction. Yeah. Like if I'm gonna do chest, I'll just stick to chest, and I'll do like 4 different workouts, as much weight as I can for as many reps as I can, and then drop sets and do different motions, same muscle, different motion, same muscle, and just tear it up
That's it. Until
Yep.
you can't keep going.
until I can't. And even then, like I gotta tell myself, like, all right, look, at this point you're probably just gonna be deterring the muscle. You're not gonna be actually gaining. So just go home now.
That's
And
it.
even though I want to keep going.
So mental, you still want to go, but your body is saying.
No, my body still says yes, but I have to stop myself because you're not really doing much. You know, like so
you could hurt yourself too. I don't know, but I mean, you actually know when. You...
Yeah, no. As far as injuries, I've never had any injuries at the gym, because I'm very well connected with my mind and my body.
That's good.
For sure.
What do you think about like this generation's youth and education and stuff like that?
It's terrible, man. Honestly.
Like we grew up in Mexico, but we also grew up in a different time where those movies that you're talking about were something to look up to and aspire.
Correct.
Like, who is the new Conan? You know,
or
who
Rocky.
is the new Rocky? Rocky's still rocking.
Right, Rocky's still
50
rocking.
years
That's
later,
right.
bro.
Right, and it's like
fucking Expendables 18 or whatever. You know, he's trying to make Rocky 7.
Who's the new hero? You know, who's the new inspiration? I guess. Who's the new role model? I mean, I know that Jason Statham does a few good movies.
But he was also old. He's also in his 60s now, bro.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he really in his 60s?
Yeah, either late 50s or early 60s. But then imagine,
Wow.
because Stallone is like 78, 74.
Wow.
They're much older. But think.
Yeah,
about,
no. Honestly, I can't think of a name of somebody that's doing what those guys did.
The Aquaman dude, maybe.
Aquaman.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the guy that long fucking hair. The
Momoa or
yeah, Momoa, that dude.
Nah.
But right, he's not really it. I'm just trying to think like who's this close.
No, man, there's really nothing like that for the youth to look up to, because obviously now they'd say that it's bad to be that way.
They would say something.
You know, where it's like, I mean, what's bad about being strong, confident, in shape, being able to?
Right now they're confused with pronouns.
Yeah, they're still stuck on that, you know, and
things are changing now.
yeah, no, it's just it's ridiculous.
But yeah, I think that's one of the things. Like, you did it right. You know, you kind of coach them, let them know what's it about, and now they're building their own lives. Like, your kids are gonna have their own lives, dude. And
with me still guiding them.
Yeah, and you and Emily are still, you know, you've been together for how many years?
My wife and I, Emily, have been together since my senior year in high school. Yeah.
Bro, I remember when I just got married, like last year, or I guess 15 months ago. Like, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
But then we came out for the wedding, and you were at my office, and you were like, bro, you've been married for like 20 days. I've been married for 20 years.
Yeah.
I've been married more years than you've been married days.
For sure.
And then it just hits me like,
it's not always easy, you know. There's definitely ups and downs.
Yeah.
More ups than downs.
Of course.
And
it takes effort, but
again, it takes effort and understanding, and of course love.
Yeah.
Love.
Respect, love, you know, and all that. And Emily's a hell of a great cook, let me tell you.
She can cook. She can definitely cook.
Yeah, she is great at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely great. Super.
And her desserts
nice.
are amazing too.
Yeah.
I gotta tell her to take it easy on that, because it's just
the sweets.
all that
just go
sugar,
all
like
in, right?
Yeah, no, she'll make a sweet potato cobbler. Like, I'm telling you, I could eat the entire thing in one sitting, but it's just not good to do that.
No, you can crush. You can pound some food, man. I've seen you like boom, 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 boom.
Well, a lot of times when I do that, it's because I haven't eaten all day. Like, on the days that I don't have breakfast and I'm kicking ass at work, you know, like 3 o'clock will be my first meal. So I've been up since 5 or 6 a.m. and now I'm having my first meal at 3 or 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
That's why you're savaging.
I can tear back a lot.
Shout out to our favorite spot. What's our favorite spot to go to?
Archie's.
Archie's, baby.
Thai Bistro.
Thai Bistro and Archie's.
Yeah, no, that place is really good.
Pineapple rice.
It's nothing fancy or anything, but it's
delicious.
It makes me feel good when I eat, and anytime I eat something, is like I judge the place by how I feel afterwards.
Yeah,
you know,
they treat you right.
Yeah, and they treat you good too. But more than anything, it's if your body doesn't feel energized after you eat, then you shouldn't be eating it.
That's good. For Finish Works, for your company,
yeah.
What is the type of job that you love to do the most? Like, anyone who's watching, like,
wow.
What is it that you wanna move towards to? Like, what is your ideal client that you look for?
Honestly, I guess if I had a choice, because I really like doing all of it, if I had a choice, I would say cabinets and countertops are probably the funnest ones, I would say. Yeah.
Like setting them up, like doing the whole
all of it, yeah.
Installation, because
demolition, install, all of it.
My friend's house. What was his name? Like the whole wall. Bernardo.
That's right.
Everything.
Yeah, no, I remodeled his entire house, top to bottom.
Everything, yeah.
Painted the outside. I didn't paint the outside.
Everything.
Yeah, bathrooms, countertops, cabinets, all around, flooring, baseboard, everything.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, because there's I have a lot of real estate friends here.
Yep,
Like,
I've met a couple of them.
Real estate people really, like, they're always flipping homes, and they always need like good people.
Hit me up, Finish Works LLC.
That's it. But that's some of your best referrals, right? Like from realtors.
Yes, I actually, I would say my number one realtor referral base right now is a woman named Mary Kopp and her daughter Elise Kopp. They're like sharks, man. I'm telling you, they are
houses?
on the move, and they hustle. Their work ethic, they're so kind. They're top shelf individuals for sure, and I owe them a lot of my growth to them.
That's awesome.
And you know, they're at the priority. When I get calls from them, I'm not afraid to put people on the back burner if I have to. I still get to everyone. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
But when they call, I know I prioritize them for sure. And any referral they give me, I let them know, like, hey, I'm bumping you to the front of the list because of Mary or Elise Kopp.
Oh, that's cool. That's a
shout out to Mary Kopp and Elise Kopp. You girls are awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah, that's a great thing. So you form already like relationship with them. They trust you. You trust them
entirely.
And it you know, it's gonna continue to grow. Where do you see Finish Works in 5 years?
In 5 years, I've already been thinking about that and talking with my son Alex. When he gets done with the military, he really wants to jump on board with doing what I do, and I think he'd be very, very good at it because he's very self-driven. And so in about 5 years, the company will be triple in size, and I think I'll be working less. At that point, Daniel will be a full-blown licensed electrician, and maybe open up an electrical division for Finish Works.
Oh, that's cool. That's a great idea. Okay.
Because Daniel will be going to electrical school here soon, and so at least triple in size. I can already see it.
So you see both your sons, the oldest, and the middle, working in the business, continuing the business.
For sure. Absolutely.
That's great. That starts talking about building, you know, legacies. Like,
absolutely.
And going back to the beginning of the conversation, that started 15 years ago. You know, 10 years ago when you started bringing them, like 5 years ago when you started like now forcing them, like it, you know, to come do things that, you know, teenagers don't want to do.
Yeah.
And now eventually, you know, it'll probably provide for their families.
No, absolutely.
That's a cool thing.
Absolutely.
Man, when you think about it.
And working side by side with them is really fun. It's I enjoy it. A lot of gratification more than anything. I feel very gratified, very, very fortunate to be able to do that, to be able to teach them that. And if you're useful, you'll always have an income. So I'm making them useful. You know, they're gonna have skills that in return will pay their bills.
Skills pays the bills.
Skills pay the bills.
George, I'm gonna give you like questions, but you're just gonna answer with like one word, the person or the thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
All right. Favorite boxer?
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Oh, it is. Mexico Pride.
For sure.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Awesome. Favorite MMA fighter?
Nate Diaz.
I don't know, so I can't follow up. Favorite soccer player?
Cuauhtémoc Blanco, by far.
Favorite porn star?
I don't keep names on that. Dude. I don't think I have a favorite porn star. It's just, you know.
I was
it's
trying to get
just...
you to talk faster the answer so that you would just blurt out a name.
Oh, okay.
But you passed the test.
Damn.
Emily, you passed the test. Favorite food?
Mexican.
Mexican food?
Yeah.
What kind? Like pozole, chilaquiles, what is it?
Ooh, the menu's so big, man, that it's like, you know, all of it really. Anything from street tacos to homemade mole.
Got it.
You know.
Favorite city?
That's a good one. I don't think I have a favorite city. I love Las Vegas, but I don't have a favorite city.
I would think you'd say Guadalajara for some reason.
It was.
But maybe that was
I
so
almost
long
did.
ago.
I almost did, but
Yeah.
I don't know it as much as I know other cities.
Yeah, you have the memories here.
Yeah.
Favorite movie?
Too many, man. But I would say Conan the Barbarian.
Favorite artist?
Artist.
Or group or musician?
Woo, too many, man. My musical genre is just my menu for music is so big. It's just too many, man. Too many.
Okay, favorite bodybuilder?
Favorite bodybuilder, Arnold for sure.
I can see a pattern with like
Yeah.
Barbarian, Arnold.
Arnold.
Favorite governor?
No, bodybuilder. I also like Mike Menser a lot. You know, a lot. Mike Menser is very informative. Where Arnold, he's like a fanboy. He can't really coach someone, where Mike Menser definitely coaches.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Favorite thing that happened to you last year?
Wow. Went to your wedding.
That was a fun thing.
That was my favorite thing of last year for sure.
Oh, that was great.
That, I mean, we can do a whole nother episode of that. Of not just the wedding, but the whole reuniting after 30 years, you know, going to
Yeah,
Guadalajara.
because you saw all the kids from like,
Yeah.
we were all kids growing,
Yeah.
you know, growing up in Guadalajara, and now we're all there. My
Yeah.
brother, other friends. Yeah, that was quite a quite
amazing.
a trip. That brought back a lot of like memories and different things.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. So for me, like at the end, like I ask people like, how does marketing, you know, help your business? What kind of marketing do you do to promote yourself? I know you mentioned word of mouth.
Word of mouth
But what
is
other
one.
things do you do to create growth and marketing in your business?
I would like to do more marketing other than the signs I have on my truck and
I know, I'm
word of
marketing,
mouth.
you
Yeah. But honestly, like I don't invest too much in marketing. I don't.
Yeah, because you're already busy.
Yeah, I'm already busy. It's snowballing. It's growing more all the time. Every month it's growing more and more and more.
So, because you can't add hours to the day, so how do you grow? Is it by getting jobs that are gonna pay more, or by being more selective with some clients? Because you can't add more hours.
Definitely the last two.
Yeah.
Be more selective with my clients. I'm very, very fortunate that the great majority of my customers are a little upper scale.
Yeah.
And they want quality work and they don't mind paying for it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not price gouging either,
Yeah.
but I am very competitive with the market value. Just because I'm a small company, I'm not looking to save you money per se, because the headache is going to be the same, and I should definitely be compensated for that.
Like I told you, like last time, like you don't charge for the time it takes you to do some things. You charge
Correct.
for the years that it took you to build that experience.
To build that experience,
Yeah.
to be able to do it fast.
Maybe those first fans took you whatever
Yeah.
an hour to do each, so that's 4 hours, and now you can do them in 25 minutes. But that's because you've done 100 of them.
Correct.
Yeah. And I took that lesson from someone who installed like an electrical charger in my house
Oh, okay.
and charged me, I can't remember, $150, but he did it like in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like,
he's been doing it for
I was like,
20
that's
years
like
or whatever.
$75 a minute. I was like, I want your job. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a great. He's like, you're not paying, for the time it takes me. You're paying for the experience that it took me to be able to do it in 2 minutes.
Exactly.
If you could do it in 2 minutes, you wouldn't call me.
A long time ago, I did run into an individual. I told her what it cost per fans, and I did like 6 or 7 fans. And I told her beforehand, hey, this is the price per unit. I took my son Daniel with me.
Yeah.
And we did like 6 or 7 fans in like 3.5 hours. And I said, all right, it's this much.
Yeah.
And she got upset. She's like, well, you guys were only here for, 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Like, how can you charge that much? I was like, I mean, what are you talking about? I was very clear with
How much per unit?
per unit, like it's per unit.
Plus, there was 2 of you.
Yeah.
So your thing is 3.5 hours, but really it's 7 because there's 2 people.
And she paid me,
Yeah.
she paid me, but she was upset. And I didn't hear from her after that. And I did, several jobs for her before the fans. But after that one, she just never called me again, which is fine. No problem.
That's the good thing, man. Like,
Yeah.
there are so many people out there that can need,
Yeah.
stuff like that. You don't need no negativity.
No.
Without the negativity, I don't.
Like they say, man, that was no skin off my nose.
That's it, my man.
I don't sweat it.
Wow, George, we're right on time with the 1 hour, man. Okay, people. Shit. Did you hear that?
Yep.
Someone's like, it took me 2 seconds to
Man.
go on the green light, and then they just hung.
Yeah, they do that.
So yeah, bro. The last question is usually like, for you guys, like, I said where you're gonna be in 5 years, but I've known you. I just want to finish instead of asking questions. Like, tell you how much I appreciate our friendship, bro.
Likewise, buddy.
How much I look up to you. How much I
look up to you,
admire
too.
a lot of your discipline as a man, as a father. In the fitness, but overall, you're just a good dude, man.
Thank you, man. I feel the same way about
Yeah.
you, and I absolutely look up to you. And whenever you give me any kind of advice, Chava, I take it very serious, and I work hard on doing whatever you advise me.
Yeah, man. I think it
You've
was a
helped me a
reason.
lot.
I trust that God puts people like in their lives when they need it. And
Absolutely.
there was a reason why we met when we were little. I mean, think about it. Like,
Right?
we met 2,000 miles away from here,
Yeah.
kicking a soccer ball in the street
Right?
in a different country.
All together, different country, 2,000 miles away.
And 30 years later, we're filming a podcast
Yeah, right? In a Tesla. In a
dude.
self-driving car. Like, who would have thought about that? Like, we're just kicking soccer balls and cans
Yeah.
in the street.
Yeah, talking about
Wow.
how much work you have for your business.
Right?
Like, what a blessing, George. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Finish Works. All right, where can they find you on Instagram?
On Instagram, I have a Finish Works LLC, and I also have 40 Plus in Shape on Instagram. Hit me up.
At 40 Plus in Shape for
Yep.
fitness, tips, and things
Yeah.
like that. All right, George. Phone number? Do you want to give your phone number? You feel comfortable?
801-687-6081. That's my Utah area code. I've had that number forever. But I live in Vegas. If you need any handyman work, I'm your guy.
That's it. Awesome. All right, this has been one more episode of CEO in Motion. Let's go.